What's up, guys? Mike here. I am driving and I just want to make this little video for you. I want to talk to you about nutrition because guess what? You guys are doing awesome in the workouts. Most of you're posting. Some people are texting me. Some people are emailing me. It's awesome, okay? Now, some of you kind of like to get lost in the shadows of the internet or Facebook or, not responding and replying, okay? Here's the deal. We've been doing that whole getting lost for the last year. That's why I want this. That's why I started this challenge. All right. Let's not do that. All right. I don't want to call out names. Okay. And I'm not going to, but there's not that many people in this group. There's not like 50 people in this group. So I see everyone. All right. So make sure you're posting in the group or you're replying back with emails or text messages, because I want to see you guys like doing this stuff, because I want to make this fun. I want to make this like very interactive, to where not interactive between the people, but between me and you and the workouts. All right. So let's rock and roll, because guess what? We're going to start nutrition now. And if you're not doing the workouts, you're going to fuck up the nutrition. And if you do the nutrition, but not do the workouts, you're going to, wait, hang on. If you're doing the workouts and not the nutrition, you're going to mess up the nutrition. Wait, let's try that again. Either way, you're going to mess them both up. Listen, they go hand in hand, okay? They're very important. So you have to do both. Because if you eat like crap and do the workout, you're going to start feeling like crap and then stop doing the workout. That's basically what I'm trying to say. And if you eat well but don't do the workouts, you're going to fall off on eating well, because you're not using the fuel as energy. All right? It's very important, guys. Otherwise, I wouldn't take a whole day or a whole like specific week on focusing on that. So, without further ado, smartwatch. All right, let's get one. All right, I don't make money off of you buying smartwatches. I don't care which smartwatch you get. Some of you are iPhone people, some of you are not. Some of you love like Fitbits because they were like the first one that did it, or Garmin because you like to hike, or whatever it is. I don't care which one it is, but make sure you get one that shows your calories, because now we're going to take out all the guesswork. All right. Before smartwatches, I have this cool resting energy expenditure equation. We plug in all our info, your height, your weight, your age, your activity levels. You got to convert your height to inches and your weight to kilograms, and then you got to plug in all this stuff and it spits out the formula. But that's all it is. This is an equation. All right. So if you took two of the same people and, height, weight, age, and put it in there, you're going to have the same number. But everybody's a little different, okay? And everybody has different goals, so the watch is super important. All right, so what it's going to do, it's going to show you how many calories you're burning every day. All right, so it's 6:53, and I burned 2,252 calories already. All right, now I didn't work out today. I was outside playing with the kids, running around, playing hide and seek. I've been doing some other stuff with screen printing, which is crazy, and whatever. But I didn't work out today. So what does that mean? What is all these numbers? And what if I don't have a smartwatch? Well, here's the deal. Get a smartwatch. All right? I don't care which one you get. An iPhone, iWatch, it's pretty cool. They have two cool apps. The one that comes with the watch that you put on your phone is amazing. Like, it shows you like every single thing, and you can go back and look at other days. You can compare your whole year, whatever. It's awesome. And then they also have like they have another one that's called Zones, and it shows you your heart rate zones. And it's super cool because you can start tracking everything and tracking how much you're working out, or track how hard that workout was when you first did it compared to now, and how much harder how much easier it is on your heart or whatever. All right, the only problem with iPhone or iWatches is I found that you have to start, when you start your workout, you have to tell it that you're working out and like what you're doing. And then the other one is that it doesn't pick up when you're working out if you're not moving your arm. Like even if you did like put that you started working out and your arm's not moving, it won't pick it up unless you start swinging your arm. So like riding, like I was thinking like riding a bike, it's not gonna like pick it up very accurately or at all. All right, now the Samsung, I'm biased, so I like the Samsung. The only problem with that is the app isn't as cool, and it doesn't do elevation very well. Like if you're doing stairs or anything like that, it won't pick it up. Not that that matters, or like a hike. Not, you know, if you did a cool ass hike and then you went to see like how high you climbed, it's not really gonna pick it up. All right, so other than that, one cool thing about the Samsung is if you get your heart rate up into like a 60% zone, it'll automatically pick it up. Like if you get your heart rate up in that zone for more than 5 minutes, it'll go, oh, it seems like you're working out. Should we start the workout? And it'll just start. And it'll actually retroactively add in those last 5 minutes as well. So that's pretty cool. I'm a little biased. Fitbit, I don't really know much about, but I think they do their job. And Garmin's pretty cool, especially if you like hike or swim, those kinds of things. It'll kind of pick up all that stuff. So, you know, whatever. Pick whichever one that you're most comfortable with, or, you know, have used, whatever. Doesn't matter to me. Just get one because it takes out a lot of the guesswork. Okay. Back to these numbers. 2252 was my number. 50% of my calories that I want to burn, or that I want to take in, have to come from protein. All right. Now let's pause for a second, because we need to be in a calorie deficit. I don't care who you are or whatever it is. The only way to lose weight is to be in a calorie deficit. Right now, not too much, because that won't speed up the process. It'll actually slow the process down if you go too much. So 2200 I'm at. I just want to be in a little bit of a deficit, like 250 to 350. That's it, the max, at the max, that much. If I go more, my body is going to, my metabolism is going to slow down, because I'm not feeding it enough. I'm not throwing enough wood on that fire to keep it burning. All right, so 250 to 350 in a deficit, and that's it. All right, so if I'm at 2200 right now, and say this was the end of the day, I need to take in about, we'll call it, what am I at, 2252, so about 2000, maybe a little less. That's it. All right, so we'll just call it 2000, and 50% of my calories need to come from protein. All right, so that means 1,000 of my calories need to come from protein. Now, how do you figure that out? All right, so it's never been easier to start tracking your food. All right, MyFitnessPal is the #1 way to track your food, and I know it's tedious. I know it's like kind of annoying. I know it's, you know, you're typing on whatever. Here's the deal. That's an excuse, okay? If you really want to if you really want to get the results, track your food.
New text message from Steve Kennedy.
It's, if you do it for like 2 weeks, I'll say 21 days at the most. If you do it for 21 days, you will be able to kind of do it intuitively after that, okay? But for the first 3 weeks, you have to learn how many calories are in things, how many calories are in an egg, how many calories are in a turkey burger, how many calories are in this Chipotle burrito. You'd be surprised how many calories are in your little cute little half sandwich at Panera with a bread bowl. That's 1,200 calories if you put it in. All right, and the key is putting that stuff in before you eat it. Before you eat it. Okay? All right, so 1,000 calories from protein. There's 4 calories in every gram of protein. So you really just have to divide your number. So your total number that you're going to eat to make sure you're in a deficit. So I'm at 2,000 after I subtracted some. We cut it in half. That's easy, 1,000. All right, and then we divide that by 4. That's 250. Cool numbers, thank God. All right, 250 grams of protein I need to take in. Oh my God, Mike, how am I supposed to do that? That's a lot of food. I don't know, blah, blah, blah. Well, here's the deal. All right, if I take a double scoop shake, that is 56 grams of protein right there in just a double shake, and that's my morning snack after my breakfast. So I have my breakfast at, first thing in the morning. I usually have my breakfast around 6:30 actually, after I get to work and train a couple of clients, and I have some eggs. All right, I can throw down 5 eggs, no problem. There's 9 grams. If I take the yolks out, there's 9 grams of protein in every egg without the yolk. Okay, and I think there's 12 in every egg, depending on which size. All right, so if I have 5 eggs, let's just call it 10, because sometimes I have 2 yolks, sometimes I have 3 yolks, and the rest I just toss out the window sometimes, or I throw them outside. They don't smell good in the gym. All right, so let's just call it 10. I have 5 with 10 grams of protein. That's 50 grams of protein. So by the end of my morning snack, I'm at 106 grams of protein. Easy. This is so easy. All right, now here's the deal. How can I eat that much, Mike? Well, guess what? I'm not filling up on bagels or breakfast potatoes or anything that like is empty to me. My calories are very important, and I want to choose them wisely. That's like saying, Mike, you have $2,000 you have to spend every day. Spend them wisely, but you have to spend them all. Okay? So I'm at 106 grams of protein by the end of my morning snack. Lunch. All right. Now, this is where we can have fun. Okay. Lunch and dinner. So far, I've only had protein. Now, in my shake, there's probably a few grams of carbs. I think each scoop has 6 grams of carbs. So I'm at 12 grams of carbs. All right, and in my eggs, there's some fat, depending on how much yolk I ate, all right? So we'll call it, I think there's like 4 grams in a whole egg with, I'm making that up. For some reason, I can't think about it right now. But there's not a lot, okay? And I don't think there's any in my protein. Is my protein in here? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, protein, okay? Let's see. 28 grams of protein per scoop. How awesome is that? 6 grams of carbs, 2.5 grams of fat. Okay, so if I have 2 scoops, that's 5 grams of fat. All right, now let's backtrack for a second. I know this video is getting long, but it's very important because I care about this stuff, because we're fine-tuning. The other 1,000 calories has to be divvied up between the carbs and fat. I don't care. Well, let's just try to keep them close. Like 30-20, 25-25 is ideal. I don't care. 30-20 either way, doesn't matter. But there's 4 calories per gram of carb. So you divide it also by 4. All right. So let's call it 500 calories from carbs, 500 calories from fat. So 500 divided by 4 is $1.25. So you only get 125 grams of carbs. Okay. Now there's 9 calories per gram of fat. So whatever 500 divided by 9 is, so we'll call that probably like 75-ish. 75, 150, 300 is 4. I don't even know where I went with math. I don't know. But anyway, it's not a lot of grams of fat. All right. So ideally, you probably, depending on your food, as long as you kind of keep those kind of around 30 or 20 or 25, whatever. Don't go crazy on one and really, then you have to go really low on the other. Otherwise, it's going to mess up your protein percentage. All right, so just be careful with that. There's 9 calories per gram of fat. All right, so whatever 500 divided by 9 is, do the math. 45. I don't know. I think it's 45. Somebody correct me in the comments. All right, but so that's not a lot of fat at all. All right, 5 grams right there, so I only got 40 left. Okay, then my eggs also, they add up. Okay, so let's call it, we're at 15, so now I only got 30 grams left. So now I have to be careful. Okay, I can't be using too much money. Lunch, you want to keep your meals fairly close to the same ratio that you're doing your total day in. I want to look at my plate and see where my protein is coming from. I want to look at my plate and see the carbs and see the fat. I don't want to just see carbs with a little bit of protein. I want to see my protein on top of my carbs and my fats. So, what do we do? All right, then we can get a burger, we can get some fish, we can get something over like salad or vegetables, right? Now here's the deal, there is carbs, and they're great carbs, they're amazing carbs in vegetables, all right? So if you have like a bunch of like broccoli and tomatoes and peppers and onions and mushrooms and zucchinis and cucumbers and whatever it is, there is carbs in there. They're not free foods. You just have to eat a lot of broccoli to add up to a bad amount of carbs. It would be a lot. Like you would never eat broccoli again because that's how much it is. All right, but that means that you can fuel up on a ton of veggies. All right, so if you had, see now, I'll be honest, I only eat 2 vegetables. Well, 3 if you count asparagus, but it's very rare. It's got to be wrapped in bacon. No, I'm just kidding. It doesn't have to be, but that's ideal. I eat broccoli and green beans, okay, and that's it. You can steam them. You can do whatever to them. You can toss them in a little garlic and oil. But I'll eat a shit ton. I'll sit there and eat a whole bowl of broccoli, okay? I'll eat a lot of it. I'll eat enough of that to where you guys can have all the other vegetables. Eat a ton of peppers and onions because I won't eat them. Mushrooms are gross. Go ahead. They're all yours. All these other zucchinis and cucumbers and all these things, go for it, okay? Now, here's the deal. Eat a ton of them, all right? Because I eat a ton of broccoli and green beans. You guys can eat a ton of vegetables. So, at lunch, you want to have grilled chicken or grilled salmon or some sort of any meat, any protein source. Turkey, chicken, fish, pork, just be careful with the pork. Beef, be careful with the beef, it's just a little higher fat and it just takes a little longer to digest. Any sort of protein source, slap it on that plate, okay? As much vegetables as you want, slap them on there. Watch the sauces. No dark sauces and no creamy sauces. Everything has to be like light. A little bit of oil and vinegar, a little bit of like flaxseed oil, coconut oil, whatever it is. Just don't be mixing like salad dressings on there and like some tons of butter and crap like that, okay? Load up on them, all right? Now here's the deal, again. You're like, Mike, how am I gonna eat this much food? There's no starches. We're not eating baked potatoes. We're not eating pita breads. We're not eating sandwiches. Okay? Yeah, I know. Trust me, I'm Italian. I know the bread is good. It's phenomenal. But don't eat it. Because, one, you're going to get stuffed. And then you're not going to eat all the other healthier stuff. 2, it's going to throw your numbers way off. 3, it's going to spike a chemical in your brain the same way ice cream does, or candy does, or anything that excites you. Bread is going to do that. That chemical will get triggered in your brain by a piece of bread. How crazy is that? You're going to put something in your body that changes the chemical compound in your brain and spits out this like chemical that is equivalent to excitement and like a roller coaster. Bread, roller coaster? No thanks. All right. All right. So now, how are you eating that much food? Load it up, and guess what? You're gonna be hungry again in 2.5 hours. All right, because your body knows how to use those nutrients as efficiently as possible. That's the key to all of this, is your body going, ooh, protein, let me take some of that. Ooh, good carb. Ooh, let me take some of that. Ooh, good fat. Sweet. We're going to do all these with all of those little molecules. It knows exactly what to do with them. All right? And it's working. You throw that bread in there or those mashed potatoes or whatever it is, your body's going to relax. It's going to be like, ooh, yeah. Cool. And it's not gonna use those molecules and plug them, put them into your, and rebuild your muscles. It's not gonna do any of that stuff. It's gonna chill. And we don't want to do that because that's how we get fat and lazy. All right, seriously, it's literally what it does to us. Okay, now afternoon snack. Okay, something small. Now, here's the deal. Most people, we're eating lunch between 12 and 1. We don't eat dinner again until 6. Families are crazy now, 6:37, okay? By the time dinner's done and we finally sit down and eat. So what are you doing from 1 o'clock till 7 o'clock? You're starving if you don't eat, okay? So now we have to have another afternoon snack. This is where we got to get creative. Okay, but we have to be smart. We don't go and get something from the vending machine. We don't go to Quick Check and grab like a sandwich or anything or a candy bar. We don't do that shit. We have to prep. We got to pre-think this shit out. That's what we have to do. All right. What are we gonna snack on that's healthy, that isn't high in carbs, that isn't high in fat, and will hold us over until 7 o'clock. Protein shake, some sort of protein bar, some sort of protein. All right, so here's my go-to options. This is my stuff, all right? I like to have something very quick. I can literally eat tuna out of the can, all right? Fine by me, eat it. Beef jerky. Another decent one, okay? Just be careful, they're high in sodium, so you gotta drink a lot of water, okay? Protein shake, protein bar. Your shakes have to be at least 20, your shakes and your bars have to be at least 20 grams of protein. If they're anything less, they're just glorified candy bars and milkshakes, okay? What are my other go-tos? Yogurt. I like to do a clean yogurt with some almonds. I'll do like 12 almonds in a yogurt. I'll do a can of tuna. Another one of my favorites, depending on how I did earlier in the day, is cottage cheese. I can literally eat cottage cheese with a fork. High protein. The fats in that are actually good fats because of the way that it's made. But it is going to bump your fat numbers up. What are some of my other go-tos? I just really like to just like a good shake. Listen, shakes also real quick, since I'm on it. Just be careful. Smoothies are not protein shakes, okay? If you have to doctor up your protein, get a different protein, okay? Because you're ruining all the good things that are about that. What were my numbers that I said, okay? In one scoop, look at this protein. That's the brand. That's the brand right there. First Form. Okay, level 1 mint ice cream sandwich. Can you see that? How phenomenal that is? It's so good. Like if I opened this right now, I would drive off the road. That's how good it is. All right, 28 grams of protein, 6 grams of carbs, 2.5 grams of fat. that is what you should, like, that's what your meal should look like. That's what your protein shake should look like, so that you're not messing up your numbers. As soon as you start throwing milk or anything in there, and then some berries and a banana, and you just doctored up your protein shake, it's not a protein shake anymore. Now it's just a glorified milkshake. So don't do those things. This company, this brand, this flavor, all of their flavors of this supplement are phenomenal, that you don't need to do anything to them except add water. Okay? I have not tried not adding water, just dry scooping it. I'm not going to do that. Don't do that at all with anything. But if you need to doctor up your protein, two things: either it's a glorified milkshake, or you're not gonna drink it, and then you're just gonna go get something else, and that defeats the whole purpose. All right, so make sure you get a good tasting protein powder that you enjoy, so that you'll use it, so you don't waste money, and then you also don't eat some other bad crap. Dinner, same thing. 7 o'clock, we're sitting down with the family. Here's the deal, all right? Stop making your family something else, and then you have to make something else for some healthy thing for yourself, all right? The reason why most adults, including myself, are in the situation that we're in about nutrition is because we were not taught it as a kid. We were given canned foods and microwavable foods and quick foods and shitty lunches at school, which, don't get me started on that. I wish we could. I could make a whole nother 5-hour video about it. But we were taught these things were ingrained in us our whole life. All right? Case in point, I sit down, my girlfriend makes dinner sometime. You know, she makes dinner all the time. But when she makes dinners and she's had a long day and she just cooks whatever's in the fridge, it comes out as grilled chicken, green beans, or corn, something out of a can, and some sort of starchy rice or macaroni or potato or whatever. And if you stop and think about it, that's everything that you see on TV, every single thing I had when I was growing up, every single thing that we are not supposed to be doing, because we're not teaching our kids. We don't want to teach our kids these things so that they grow up and are going to have the same situation, okay? So one of the biggest downfalls that I see with a lot of, like, especially moms, is they get sick and tired of cooking two different meals, one for themselves and one for the rest of their family. So realistically, what you're saying is, I'm going to cook myself something healthy because that's what Mike told me to do, and then I'm going to cook them something else that's not healthy. And I get it. You don't want to piss your husband off. You want your kids to actually eat the food. I get it. But let's start getting everyone on the same page. All right? The reason being is, I can't tell you how many wives I've tried to help and have helped whose husband also needs the help, but obviously won't they won't push their ego aside, so, and they won't come and get the help. So slowly, if you can, start converting over to making everybody the same meal. Because guess what? You want your kids to grow up and be healthy. You want your husband to be healthy. You want all these things for yourself. Why would you cook somebody else? Why would you cook your loved ones something that isn't healthy? And I know that's like deeper and everything like that, but it also relieves you from the excuse of having to cook two separate meals. That's really the main reason. Okay? If you want to just cook yourself a healthy meal and then just tell them to go get something else, if that helps you as well, go for it. dinner. Same as lunch. That's really it. But bigger portions. Okay? If you realize that you are not coming close to hitting your calorie number, so that's the biggest thing, is sometimes when we start cleaning up our nutrition, all of a sudden we're not getting to our calorie numbers. Guess what? Eat more food. Eat more chicken. Eat more vegetables. Have another protein shake. Do whatever it is that you got to do to get those calories up, but in a clean way. Okay? I think I covered everything, but here's the deal. You're going to have different caloric days. Okay? So on days that you work out, you're going to have more calories that you need to refuel your body in. This is what I wanted to talk about from my last one, all right? Shoot, this video is really long. I'm really sorry. You're in this challenge for a reason. You have goals, and you haven't hit them. Mainly, what we're doing is we're fucking up our nutrition. Because you work out does not mean that you get to eat like shit. Right? Most people, you got to think like they work out so they can eat like shit, or they eat like shit so then they go and work out. That's not how it works. It doesn't work like that. Most people eat like shit to begin with, and that's how they got to where they are. So that means that if you work out, you don't get to eat like shit, because you already lost that privilege because you were doing it when you weren't working out or whatever. All right, what I'm trying to say is, like, disconnect those two. That's not a thing. It's not a thing. All right, you work out because you care about your body. You work out because you care about your mental whatever. All right, we work out because we want to take care of ourselves and we want to live a happy, healthy, long life. Don't ruin it by eating like shit. You don't earn more food. You don't earn that dessert. You don't earn that piece of pie because you worked out, or because you had pie, you have to work out the next morning. Like, that's not, you can't justify the two. They're not linked together. All right? But with that being said, you have to, if you burn more calories, your number. So, like, say I worked out today and my number was 2252 on a non-workout day. Tomorrow is a workout day. I'm probably going to burn more calories. So that deficit, so if I still take away my 300, so today I'm at 2252, and so if I take away my like 300, I'm at 1952. So those are my numbers. Tomorrow I'm working all day long. I'm going to be up longer. I'm going to be up from 6, and now you don't go to bed until 9:30. I'm going to burn more calories. All right, I'm going to probably burn 3,000 calories. So now I have to be in a 300 calorie deficit. So now my number is 2,700. Okay? So these are the things that you're going to have to start tweaking in order to stay on track and make sure we don't fuck up our metabolism. All right? Because most people, by the time they hit 30, their metabolism is screwed and it's not running properly. It's not some thyroid issue. It's not your genes. It's not hereditary, some crap that all these doctors are trying to tell you. It's just your metabolism, and your body is not using the food that you feed it as fuel. Because either you're getting too much, or you're getting too little, or you're not getting the right ratio of fats, carbs, and proteins. Those are your macronutrients. So we have to make sure that we are on point all the time. So how do you know how many calories you're going to burn at the end of the day ahead of time? Well, that's why we track everything, okay? And this week is going to be all about that. So today, some of you took a rest day. Look at your watch if you have one, and look at a rest day's calories. That should be your resting energy expenditure. That's how much you will be burning just being alive, breathing, all right? If there's a day where you work all day, you also work out, and you also hit some cardio, that number is going to be higher. That's your high calorie day. That's your high activity caloric day. So then your calories are up there, okay? If there's a day where you're like, oh, on Wednesdays, I only get like a time at lunch to work out, so I really only get like a 45-minute workout in, and it's like, you know, your calories are like kind of a little high, but not like a ton, that's your medium day. And then there's like a Friday when you're like, oh, I can only go first thing in the morning to do like a half hour of cardio, that's your low day, all right? And then you're gonna have, now you have your labels for every day. High, medium, low, no days. So you have 4 days, and then you eat according to your schedule. All right? Any questions, let me know. I'm going to post this video up on YouTube so it's not so long, or you can watch it on a treadmill. All right? No excuses.